devised things, when we made known unto you what power and I possess
on His majesty. When we deal with things like this, prophecy and stuff like that, oftentimes people have a tendency to think that maybe this is something that we just made up, right? Sometimes people are tempted to think that way. And maybe they make this up, right? But as we go through this presentation this morning, I want us to understand that we are just following cunningly the Bible's statements. Right? We are proven, right? Things that have happened, right? And if the prophecy was accurate in depicting all the things that were to happen up to this point, you think the back end would be wrong? See, and that's what God people said. That's what God people said. If it was accurate up to this point, why do I think the last thing is going to be wrong? So here we just want to give an overview of the book of Daniel. All right? Now, for a long time, the book of Daniel faced a lot of scrutiny, right? A lot of scrutiny. People have a lot of things to say about it. We ain't sure this is actually true because, they didn't find any other manuscripts, right? But in 1947, between 1947 and 1956, they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, right, by the Dead Sea. And when they opened up these scrolls, they found a number of writings. But among those writings was, guess what? The book of Daniel. Right? And so now they can say that, this is something that was just recently made up, so that went out the window. Now, what I want you to also understand is that they dated those manuscripts. Those manuscripts were dated between the 3rd century BC and the 1st century. Right? That's the time that they dated those particular scrolls to have been written. And that's why Jesus could have mentioned them. He could have mentioned that in Matthew, right? Because Jesus lived during that time. So he would have been familiar with these writings. It's just that after that, and the destruction of Jerusalem, they were lost to us for a long period of time. But that does not mean that is when they were first written. I want you to understand that. All right? And that is key to understand. Oftentimes, someone like Daniel, who was a governor in Egypt, right? One of the highest officials in Egypt, he would have, it was very unusual for them, right? They would usually have scribes. They would say to the scribe, hey, this is what I saw, this is what I heard, and the scribe would what? Write it down. So I know a lot of people say, no, it doesn't actually write it, right? He probably didn't write it himself. He probably dictated it to the scribe, and the scribe would have written it down. And that would have been transcribed many times, because they were writing things on parchment, right? And these papers, you know how to let people for 10, 15, 20 years, right? So imagine retaining a parchment piece of paper for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. It's not realistic. So it would be copied time and time and time and time again. All right? Now, the book of Daniel foretells the rise and falls of empires, ultimately culminating with the coming of God's kingdom. That's basically what the book of Daniel talks about. All right. So there are, as we prepare to dig into this, there are some key words that I want us to understand. All right? We're going to refer to these, right? and I have the references of them, but beast denotes what? A kingdom, government, political power. All right? It's important for us to understand. We're going to talk about what? A horn. Right? And horns mean what? Power, strength, or king, or kingdom. Right? And they mentioned wings. Wings mean what?
Speed.
Speed. Right? And it's important for us to know that as we look into these passages of Scripture this morning, all right? So I want us to keep that in mind. I just want to take a minute to set a little background, all right? Set a little background. So we understand that we're not dealing with cunningly devised fables.